rather be all alone than have my heart broken. I could live on a deserted island as long as there was food. And I'd rather just waste away than to spend my life thinking about the choices that I've made and how I'd change them if I could. I was roving on the bog on a misty Irish morning when an Englishman jumped up and shouted, "Ho, top of the morning, row, ho, till fancy free with a hang down low, shave my belly with a rusty knife, and I wake up in the morning, a bottle of rum and a fancy jig, and the road rise up to meet you. Just put another shrimp on the Barbie friend, and I'll be there to greet you. Row, ho, skilly-doo, whack-a-lay on a toddy-o, with a bottle of rum and a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Row, ho, diddle-I-ay, musty Irish morning friend, shitting in a bucket with a drunken whore, and I go home in the morning. Holy guacamole, holy guacamole, I just got hit by a car, and you're the one who swept me off my feet, pushed me in the street, left me in a coma. Guacamole me, guacamole you, I just got busted for drugs, and you're the one who sold me to the Fed, leaving me for dead, played me for a fool, making guacamole, mix it in the bowlie, I just got mauled by a bear. You're the one who covered me with honey, thought it was so funny how be so cruel. Take it. That's good. Captain Guacamole, Officer Stromboli, I just got shot in the face. And you're the one who had the smoking gun. Love is just no fun whenever I'm with you. Guacamole coma.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, check, test, 1, 2, help! Help. Testing. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Checking the mic. Checking, 1, 2. Testing, 1, 2. Test. Computer, volume 10. Computer, what is the weather today?
The current weather is 63 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies. You can expect more of the same today, with a high of 63 degrees and a low of 54 degrees.
Hello? Can you hear me? Testing. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be teaching you how to make Henry's kick butt Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts really are an incredible side dish, probably my favorite, and they're healthy also. Unless you use too much of the salt and, fatty oils and stuff like that. But relatively speaking, I mean, you're better off eating Brussels sprouts than you would be, say, like a bacon double cheeseburger from McDonald's. Slashnox says, Henry, you look like me in a dream where I am back in college and there's a surprise exam. Oh, I know that feeling very well. And also you're in your underwear. Or I'm in my underwear in the dream anyway. And everybody's laughing at me. Dreams are funny things. Okay, everybody. Dark Ages says that probably depends on the size of the bacon double cheeseburger. A very small one might not be bad for you. That's true. If you cook bacon well enough, you're going to cook all of the unhealthy stuff out of it. So that's something to know. Gume Kende says, love that shirt. Thank you very much. It occurred to me recently when I was looking at some of my VODs, as I am wont to do on Saturday nights with my cat, Roast Beef, and we review the videos that we've made during the week and just try to, think of ways that we can improve it. One of the things that stood out to me a lot was my physical appearance. There's only so much I can do, but you can always put on a nice shirt. And that's something that I decided I was going to do. Just a little message for some of the younger people out there. When you're dressed well, people treat you better. It just happens. I remember probably 30 years ago, I used to have really long hair and I just wore jeans and a t-shirt for weeks on end without changing them or showering or anything. And one time I had to go to a funeral So I was forced to put on a suit and tie. And I walked into a gas station to get cigarettes. And the guy said, "Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Anything we can do for you, sir." And he gave me cigarettes, and I was walking out going, why was he calling me sir? Nobody's ever called me sir. And then I theorized later that it was probably because I was wearing a suit. So I know that story is correlation versus causation, but I think there is something to be said for dressing well. Borsenvin says that's when Henry became a man. You know, in more ways than one. I was lucky enough to hook up with somebody at the funeral. Dark Ages says, I'm a man with long hair and people sometimes call me ma'am. Yeah, that used to happen to me a lot when I was young. I remember in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the nicest thing you could get for having long hair was that they just thought you were a girl. And the meanest thing, well, I don't want to say what some of the mean things that they would say, but it wasn't really very well received during that time in that particular geography. Mega Gildy says, did you hook up with the widow? No, I didn't. That would have been quite a story, though. But I know that there are some people, probably people in this very chat, that like to make moves on vulnerable people. I don't know why I said that. I think everybody here is pretty nice. Sometimes you just say shit, you know. Spacey says, I've been called a boy because of my short hair as a girl. Yeah, that happens as well. And it's okay. Michael Bublé 4422 says, widows are vulnerable, especially at the funeral. Yeah, you're catching them in a very vulnerable state where a lot of emotions are running crazy. And for some people, that's attractive, I guess. Michael Bublé 4422. Now, I am pretty sure that is the real Michael Bublé. I mean, I have no way to verify it, but some people might argue, well, it's not just Michael Bublé. The username is Michael Bublé 4422. But we don't know. Maybe that's Michael Bublé's favorite numbers or something like that. And also, I'm Henlips 1. You know, and I'm famous, so I could have been, I didn't have a chance to be Henlips because somebody already had that, so I turned into Henlips 1. So I think it's highly possible that Michael Bublé, who's also famous, is the real Michael Bublé. It's Michael Bublé 4422. And we have a song coming up for you. I'm going to be a little nervous singing in front of the Michael Bublé. Parasitosis says, why would anybody lie about being Michael? What is there to gain? You're right. You're absolutely right. Except for he does dress well. So maybe you can gain somebody calling you sir while you're buying cigarettes at the gas station. Look at that. I turned it all around and back to the beginning. Kairosa says, I actually know a guy whose name could be smashed into Henlips. Maybe he has the original. Oh, okay. You must be talking about Hennard Brodlips. And it's the first 3 letters of his name and then the last 4, which is in my case too. Okay, everybody, I'm going to pour a cup of coffee. We got a lot of work to do. Not the least of it being that we have songs to sing, which I'm going to do for you right now. But I'm going to have my fuel. How does this go on there? Okay. If you're asking why I have to take the top off of my coffee pot, it's because if I pour it, it's defective and it pours backwards. And it took me years to realize that's why my counter was always covered in coffee. Okay, everybody. Let's take a look at some of our thank yous that we want to do. Well, for one thing, I want to thank... Who do we need to thank for this one? We want to thank Michelle C. Michelle C. gives us this cool background, and I believe there was a caption that said, it said something about how she woke up to a very snowy morning. This looks very pleasant. It's very dark and dreary where I am, and I'm envious of you, Michelle C., for living in such a cool winter wonderland. It's like Christmas all the way into February. Okay. Thank you for that. And I also want to say thank you to Saguaro, Ooh, and Phaedrus, who collaborated on today's artwork. Yeah. Okay. Let's check out some of our alerts here. Okay. I want to thank for resubscribing Ilamalem and the Elusive Man, who says, "Hey Henry, how did you get so awesome?" I'm not awesome. That's just an illusion. See? Wum Dingers has subscribed to you. Thank you very much, Wum Dingers. Van Honkerton cheered 100 bits and says, "Speaking of clothing, I recently got into women's underwear. The business is really getting off on a good start." That's probably a great industry to be in. Good for you, Van Honkerton. Midnight Faded has resubscribed for 3 months and says, "You're really sexing me up, Henry." Thank you for that compliment and that positivity. Google D's Nuts has resubscribed for 19 months. Into the Ink resubscribed for 16 months. And Borsenvin has resubscribed at his tier 3 level for 17 months and says 17 months of fun. And it says here, Borsenvin is on a 17-month streak. I hope we're not talking about the type of streak that they do at the ball games, because that's a long one. Anonymous gifted a tier 1 sub to Anime Wet Spot. So there you have it. And this is so fun for me. You know, I'm 54 years old. I'm an old guy, but you know, I'm sort of just rattling off these young people terms like Anonymous gifted a tier 1 sub to Anime Wet Spot. I mean, what? Nobody else my age knows what that means, but I know exactly what it means. Shrimpy Pierre has resubscribed for 2 months. 2 months of a streaking streak. Thank you, Blurry Little Quest, for that positivity. And Purple Donut Filling His Fruit says, "Look how far you've come from over a year ago." Yeah. And also, did I see in the comments, somebody said something about seeing me in maybe a trailer for the Streamer Awards? I don't know about that. If that was a mistake, then ignore. But it sounds like a pretty awesome thing, if it's true. And I'd like to know how you saw it and how you see stuff like that, because I am hip, but I'm also old. Archmage Kale says, "Hey Henry, I escaped the mental asylum. Don't tell the nurse. Your secret is safe with us. We don't judge here at Henry's Kitchen." We have a song today that was requested to us by It's Kate, which is literally about doing heroin under a bridge. That probably gives you an idea of what song it is. But, you know, it could be Dionne Warwick's "I Know I'll Never Love This Way Again." We don't know that song wasn't about doing heroin under a bridge also. So I don't want to give it away, but I'm just saying we don't judge. Alexander Dean resubscribed for 17 months, and we have one of your songs coming up too. And Shrimpy Pierre resubscribed for 2 months, and we just said that. So, okay, I think we're ready to get into some music. Maybe we can find a good background for this. What do we have? Okay. Violent Silhan 89 gives us this one. I think this is a reference to This is my cat roast beef. It says big city, little kitty, big city. Of course, he's not so little. If you want to see how my cat roast beef is doing right now. Oh, he just got up. That means we're in trouble. Oh boy. Probably one of his biggest hobbies right now, my cat roast beef, is that he likes to drink water. And once he gets started on the water, he does it for quite some time. Thank you, So Smooth, for resubscribing for 2 months. Who else loves roast beef? We all love roast beef. Okay, well, it's interesting. I'm looking at the view count, and it looks like the views are going up right now somehow since we started showing my cat drinking water. How does that work? It's boring. He's just drinking water, but somehow or another people find that more entertaining than a guy teaching people how to cook in his kitchen. All right, we're going to cut back to roast beef in a little bit. And he'll probably still be doing that. Shrimpy Pierre says, how does so much water fit in such a small package on 4 legs? I don't know, but that's literally all he ever does. So much water. I think he does have a little bit of a kidney issue that we're working on. He is a geriatric cat. So we're on borrowed time as it is now. And it's been it's been quite a journey of emotions trying to think about what lies ahead. And Matusi says, can you have a separate stream for going to roast beef's water, please? I really, I am legitimately curious to see how long he's going to be doing this. So now I'm getting distracted. I know we have songs and cooking to do, but so now he's... And if anybody's wondering why he does this thing where he could very easily be drinking the water straight on from an angle, but he is a show cat, and he likes to he always knows where the camera is, so he likes to pose for the camera. So that's why he does that. Okay, everybody. We're getting off a little bit. We should probably get back on track. David Blowy says, do you think cats go to heaven, Henry? Wow. That is a good question. Roast beef is currently kind of in heaven in terms of being able to drink as much water as he possibly can. But no, I don't think they do. I think heaven is reserved for people. It's an exclusive club. Why shouldn't we be the only ones to go to heaven? We worked harder for it. Why should cats just be able to wander in there with dogs and then they start letting, insects in there? What happens here? No, heaven is for people, and that's where we go to experience our nirvana, or depending on what your religion is, your ability to be surrounded by sexual fantasies or whatever whatever happens. I don't really know much about that, but Kairosa says, according to Belinda Carlisle, heaven is a place on earth. Yeah, but that's a song. I don't know if she's particularly knowledgeable about where the exact location of heaven is. That would be amazing if all of a sudden theologians and philosophers alike had this weird epiphany where they all realized that Belinda Carlisle from the Go-Go's this whole time knew exactly the location of the of what we know as heaven. Okay, all right, guys. Michael Bublé 4422 says Bryan Adams compared being in love to being in heaven. Yeah, that's a great song, and I think we've actually done it on here. All right, now he's moved on to eating. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop cutting to roast beef, but it is pretty cool. We have, I'll tell you in terms of viewers, we have 311 viewers now. That number's up from about 250 from when we started. We have 534 subscribers, so thanks everybody so much for your subscriptions. And let's go ahead and do some music, shall we? I want to find a good background here. Thank you again, Violent Hillsan, for that awesome background. Nella gives us this one. This is another Winter Wonderland fantasy. Why don't we do this for our background? So, why don't we warm up with something that I know really well? Okay. This one, Phaedrus. Phaedrus wanted to hear this song, which is the opposite of a sad song, although because of my limited vocal range, I'm only able to sing in what's known as the Jose Suicidio vocal range. And so it might not sound as uplifting, but this is a song by a group called Air Supply. I was the lonely one, wondering what went wrong, why love had gone and left me lonely. I was so confused. It's either too high or too low. Feeling like I'd been used. Then you came to me and left me. I used to think, boy, this is awful. I'm so sorry. I used to think I was led to a heartache. That's where the heartbreak, but now that I found you, even the nights are better. I gotta figure out that bridge part. Now that we're here together, even the nights are better since I found you. Oh, even the days are brighter when someone you love's beside you. Even the nights are better since I found you. Boy, these songs from the 70s or early 80s or whatever have a lot of chords. Oh, Michael Bublé 4422 just brings up a good point. Check, one, we didn't have any reverb. So maybe things will start sounding better now that we've put some reverb here. Okay, here we go. You knew just what to do, 'cause you had been lonely too, and you showed me how to ease the pain, and you did more than mend a broken heart. I think we're gonna get the Streamer Award for Best Musical Performance here, 'cause now you've been made a fine start, and I can see that you feel the same way. I never dreamed there'd be someone to hold me until you told me, and now that I found you, even the nights are better. Now that we're here together, even the nights are better since I found you. Oh, even the days are brighter now that I'm here beside you. Even the nights are better since I found you. Oh, even the days are brighter when someone you love's beside you. Even the nights are better since I found you. I don't know how to end that song. I think it just fades out. But what we did was kind of interesting. We ended it, for music theory nerds out there, we ended it on the tertiary major, which would be the G in the key of E flat. I think. Yeah. A lot of key changes in that one. No Esquire says, I miss when songs used to just fade out. Yeah, me too. Michael Bublé 4422 says that he would have ended on the quaternary minor. Well, that is Michael Bublé, the real Michael Bublé, so we should not discard the things that he says. Okay, that song, great suggestion, Phaedrus, but I really biffed it. So we're going to have to do another one. Why don't we go to this next song here? What are some other... oh, here we go. Dark Ages gives us one of his cool photography projects. This is... there's a caption here. Dark Ages says, another classroom, oddly on the top floor of an abandoned city street and sanitation building in Indiana. No idea what the deal is with the horoscope stuff on the far wall. Oh, interesting. Neither do I, but this is going to be a great background for our song about heroin, which was suggested to us by one of our main users, It's Kate. So It's Kate, I hope you're out there, and I hope you enjoy this song, and thanks for requesting it. This one should be a little easier for me because I grew up with it. It's a song about the city of Los Angeles and the connection that the singer Anthony Kiedis had to that city, where in some ways he's anthropomorphizing, and that's a good word, the city of Los Angeles as a lover. And I think that's probably because he was on heroin, not at the time of writing this song, but certainly that's what he was writing it about. And don't forget, a lot of the best songs ever were written by people while they were on hallucinogenic drugs. I'm not saying that you should take drugs, but I'm saying if you want to write good songs, you have to take drugs. And Michael Bublé, what is this? RHCP, Red Hot Chili Peppers were on Stern a few months ago, did like 2 hours in studio and performed many songs. Well, I'll bet they didn't perform it as well as I'm about to perform this song. That was a joke, by the way. I'm sure they were better at it. Sometimes I feel like I have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, but together we cry. City of Angels, that's Los Angeles. I drive on the streets, 'cause she's my companion. Walk through her hills, 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. Well, I never worry, now that is a lie. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah. It's hard to believe take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, I said yeah, yeah. Oh no, I said yeah, yeah. Under the bridge downtown is where I got some blood. Under the bridge downtown, forgot about my love. Under the bridge downtown, I'm screwing this part up. I gave my life away. Under the bridge downtown, I gave my life away. Trying to get fancy. Okay, thank you, Kairosa. Thanks everybody for the positive emojis and whatnot. Ransom GR, does anyone know who won the Valentine's Day contest? Yes, indeed we do, and I think we probably should show the video again. We're gonna do that. We're gonna show the video again. There were amazing designs submitted on the Discord, and and then we're gonna announce the winners again. Bruce I, best evidence that the streamer awards are rigged. Henry wasn't nominated as best streamer. Yes, it's absolutely right. Don't forget that any time a vote of some sort doesn't go your way, it definitely was rigged. And that's what happened in this case. Okay, let's do another song. This next song that we're going to be doing here is called, oh yeah. Okay, Michael Bublé, and this is the real Michael Bublé, 4422, wanted to hear this song. I had never heard this song. It's by a group called Simply Red, which I believe come to us from across the pond. Which sounds creepy when you think about it. If you say that somebody comes to you from across the pond, you're picturing like either the Loch Ness Monster or the creature from the Black Lagoon or something. But this is just a great band from the 80s that was called Simple Red. And I was familiar with the band, but I wasn't familiar with this song. And I'm going to try the hardest I can to do this song for Michael Bublé, who is one of the users here. And I don't mean a user in the way that Anthony Kiedis was using Under the Bridge. Although Michael Bublé might very well be, he just chooses not to sing or write songs about it. But Michael Bublé 4422 wants to hear this song, and who are we to deny him of that? Especially given who he is. But as with a lot of new songs, I have a hard time remembering it. I think that this one's going to be capoed up. Tell you the way I'm feeling. Anyone who ever wanted you would try to tell you that I feel inside. The only thing I ever wanted was the feeling that you ain't faking. The only one I never thought about hard to learn new songs, but I want to try to do it as much as possible. Now another verse. For the man who tried to hurt you, he's explaining the way I'm feeling. For all the jealousy I caused you, states the reason I'm trying to hide. As for all the things you taught me, it sends my future into clearer dimensions. You'll never know how much you hurt me. Stay a minute, you can see that I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms. I feel you. I hope you comprehend. All right, we're gonna do one more chorus. I wanna fall from the stars straight into your arms. I feel you. I hope you comprehend. Okay. That was for Michael Bublé 4422, who recommended it very many times, so I wanted to learn it. Cucumber Some, the singer is really the one who sells that song, and I did the best I could to imitate him, but check out Simply Red. The guy has just an incredible voice. I remember their biggest song was Computer, what were the biggest songs by Simply Red?
Oh, hi.
Simply Red's biggest hits include Holding Back the Years and
Oh,
If
yeah.
You Don't Know Me By Now.
So If You Don't Know Me By Now was a famous song already from like the 60s or 50s or something. I think it might have been a Motown song. I don't know who did it. But their original song was Holding Back the Years. Great song. Thank you, Michael Bublé, and we're all big fans of you. And just keep doing the work that you're doing. You're making people feel good with your music, and you're dressing up nicely, and that's, as we've talked about, very important. Okay. Ransom GR says, does anyone know who won the Valentine's Day contest? Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to show you the Valentine's Day video, and then we're going to announce the winners. So here we go. It's a few minutes long, so if you've already seen it, maybe get that coffee brewing, because we are going to be doing some cooking here very shortly. But here we go. Wait, I got to start it.
I try to watch TV.
Hold on. Okay, you there? All right, so this was compiled by Dazzlecat, and this is all the submissions for the awesome Valentine's Day epic stream that we did that was organized by Mochi and It's Kate and Kairosa and Beelzebub and Blurry Little Quest and everybody. So here we go. Let's watch it, and then I'll announce the winners once more.
She says she wants to Uber home now, 'cause you're just not her type of guy. But she still wants to be your friend, and if she meets her Mr. Right, then maybe you could help her move her stuff when she moves in with him. But for now, she just wants an Uber home. She says it's not that you're not handsome, you're just not her cup of tea. 'Cause she's got better things to do than to hang around with you. She's got other ways she'd rather spend her time. to Uber home. Well, I'd rather be all alone than have my heart broken. I could live on a deserted island as long as there was food. And I'd rather just waste away than to spend my life thinking about the choices that I've made and how I'd change them if I could. There's something broken inside of me, something no one else can see. Something hurts and it's way down deep. I think there's something wrong with me. I've got friends that I never see. They say they don't have time for me. I try to reach out to my family, but I just get voicemail. I try to watch TV, it only saddens me. Everyone's yelling and screaming and fighting in the streets. I put some food in the microwave, forgot about it for several days. Then when I found it, I just threw it away. There's surely something wrong with me. All the kids in the neighborhood tell me I don't look so good. How I would change it all if I could, but I can't. Every day used to be such possibility. Now every road that I take leads to failure and despair. Here we go. There's something broken inside of me, but whatever will be, will be.
Okay, there you have it. Thanks again, Dazzlecat, for that amazing compilation. So the winners: in third place, Pug Lady; in second place, Regular Size Joe; and in first place, Alexander Dean. And if I had a bigger budget with higher technology levels, I'd be able to show you them as I announce the winners, but instead you'll have to watch the DVD afterward and back it up to that spot and freeze it on the ones that you like. Yeah, excellent work, everybody. Archmage Kill, you're absolutely right. There are bisons in the river, but that's because we're going to do one more song. So let's go ahead now. And thanks again, Dark Ages, for that cool background. And here's one from Kala, which is kind of cryptic. I don't know what this says here. Trying to read it. Can anybody see what that says? There was no caption, but it's very interesting. The Pike Expedition, that's what JB's text says. Okay, well, thank you very much, Kala, for that cool background. I like it. It looks like a map of the U.S. with a trail of some... Oh, wait, is that the four corners or whatever? New Mexico, Arizona, is that Colorado, and I don't know, I can't see it. Texas? No, that doesn't make sense. But anyway, very cool. All right, let's go ahead and see another one here. Fathead sends us this one. This is another one from the American sort of Southwest-ish. I guess this would just be the West. This is the Wild West, San Antonio, Texas, home of the Alamo, if I'm not mistaken. And if I am mistaken, then the Alamo is someplace else. But that is what you call tautological. So thank you very much, Fathead. And if I don't know if that name is ironic, like when you call a large person tiny or whatever, but maybe you do have a fat head, in which case I do as well. And I think that's supposed to be indicative of large cranial capacity and cranial magnitude. Neo Esquire says you forgot about the Alamo after they told you to remember it. Yeah, I'm not very good when people tell me to remember stuff. David Blowy says, I just listened to the song you sang by Simply Red 3 times in a row. What a voice. Yeah, all right. Thank you for letting me discover such an artist. Yeah, thanks, David Blowy. I'm glad, because you guys have turned me on to some really good music over the last couple of years, and I'm glad that I was able to sort of do a little bit of a return. Okay. Let's go ahead and do another song here. We're going to do one more song, and then we're going to get cooking. But let's see what's left here. JB's Tech sends us this cool one. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good background for our song here, because the song is very depressing. It's a song by a fantastic artist, Dionne Warwick. And this song was requested to us by Alexander Dean, the winner of our Valentine's Day design contest. So, Alexander Dean, I don't know if you requested this song because things are going rough in your love life, in which case I'm sorry, but hopefully it all balanced out because you also won the Valentine's Day submission contest. So, it all comes out in the wash, as they say. So let's go ahead and do this classic one from Dionne Warwick. This song got me through many a breakup. Dionne Warwick, famously the aunt of Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, of course, the iconic singer from the 80s. And when she died in a hotel room, we all died. I think all of us died. She died for real, but we all died. Part of us died inside, I think. I did anyway. And but this song is not about Whitney Houston. It's about Dionne Warwick, her aunt, or it's not about her. I saw her last night in a documentary called The Greatest Night in Pop, and it was about Lionel Richie putting together We Are the World, and it's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It was a trip down memory lane. If you're young enough so that you don't remember that stuff, maybe it'll be a fun history thing for you, but I really just enjoyed seeing all the actual footage and interviews of people, Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, Kenny Rogers, Huey Lewis, Lionel Richie. Yeah, it just goes on forever. Bob Dylan, it's just like they must have literally been shitting their pants while they were all standing there doing what they were doing. I don't mean literally. People use that word literally way too much, but they must have been proverbially shitting their proverbial pants. Computer Machine says hearing Michael Jackson's isolated vocals was an experience. Yeah, no, perfect pitch.
I'm having trouble hearing. Can you say that again?
No one's talking to you. Yeah, Michael Jackson had perfect pitch. And Steve Perry, yeah. And this is sort of the opposite of that. it's me singing a Dionne Warwick song, and she was there on that Greatest Night also. I'm gonna do the best I can, but this song is I remember just sitting there crying, weeping my heart out in my dad's Chrysler Fifth Avenue that he had handed down to me, and that was my ride back in the late 2019s, and I was going through a very difficult breakup, and let's just say that sometimes a song can wash your tears away in a proverbial sense. You looked inside my fantasies and made each one come true. Something no one else had ever found a way to do. I've kept the memories one by one since you took me in, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love this way again, so I keep holding on before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Suddenly I'm transported back to that depressing time in my youth when I was sitting there drinking out of a brown paper bag in the driver's seat of my dad's Chrysler Fifth Avenue in 2019. A fool will lose tomorrow, reaching back for yesterday. Won't turn my head in sorrow if you should go away. I'll stand here and remember just how good it's been, and I know I'll never love this way again. I know I'll never love this way again, so I keep holding on before the good is gone. I know I'll never love this way again. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, we have to do an ad before the time goes off. But anyway, yeah, I mean, that was an excellent performance of a great song. I don't know why we didn't win at least the Streamer Award for Best Rendition of Dionne Warwick's song. Well, I guess because I didn't do it last year, but maybe we will next year. Okay, let's check in on some of our alerts here. We've got some coming in fresh. The Luge gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. Thank you, The Luge. If anybody's following the count, that gives us 543 subscribers. That's really awesome. Thank you for that. And let's see what else we've got. Venny and Live resubscribed for 12 months and said, I've had so few house fires since following your recipes, Henry. Keep up the good work. Yeah, those things might or might not be related. Purple Donut Filling His Fruit gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, Purple Donut Filling His Fruit. And Brucei resubscribed for 17 months. Best evidence that the Streamer Awards are rigged. Yeah, I once ate an entire horse has subscribed to you. And Liquid 1701 subscribed as well. And Close Proximity to you has subscribed. Thank you, Close Proximity. And Alexander Dean gifted a Tier 1 sub to Gamer Beeb. That's awesome. And that brings us up to date. So thank you very much, everybody. All right, let's start getting into cooking. I know this has been a lot of fun, but we can't just have fun and entertainment. the whole time that we're doing a show. We have to also impart important knowledge about the culinary arts, because if we don't do so, then people can't eat. So let's get to work. Oh, and speaking of culinary arts, I have a very exciting announcement to make. Everybody get ready for this. Wednesday, February 21st, I'm going to be doing a collaboration here. I'm going to be streaming with my new friend Chef Reactions. And Chef Reactions is going to be we're going to be streaming together using a feature on Twitch, which is called it's a new feature. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, it's called streaming together, I think. But yeah, we're going to be streaming together, and this guy has been a chef for many years, and I'm very excited to share cooking secrets. Michael Bublé 4422, will both of you be cooking? No, I'm going to be cooking. He's just going to be sort of there, and you know, he's got a lot of experience, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Neo Esquire says, make sure you don't cross the streams. Is that something you can't do on Twitch? I don't know. I don't want to break any terms of service. Random guy 0011 says, do you see the reverbicin in the background, Henry? Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. The reverb is on. Check 1, 2. Okay, everybody, fun time's over. We had fun. It's time for us to get in the kitchen here. Here it is. This is where we cook. And it's not fun. It's not easy. It's not something you can do with a family member for bonding or bondage or whatever. KC 2.0 says, can we watch some ads first? I don't think I'm quite ready to cook. Good call. Yeah. KC 2.0 has a great point. Let's go ahead and show 1 3-minute ad as part of fulfilling our agreement with Twitch to show an ad per hour, and then that way they don't have to jump in and show their ads whenever they want willy-nilly, and then people miss a bunch of information. So 3 minutes to yourself to think or to watch ads, to do whatever you want to do. Snobby7 says, cooking, the most dangerous thing you can do. It really, really is. Mochi's Nirvana says, really enjoyed your most recent YouTube kitchen explaining video on authentic strombolis. That's right. The latest YouTube video, which is a reissue of a Patreon video that was behind a paywall, but now it's available to the public. You can learn how to make the New Jersey, authentic New Jersey style stromboli, which has killed many a middle-aged man in Essex County, New Jersey. So here we go. Here's the ad. I have a lot of work ahead of me, you guys. I know that I'm just talking to the subs right now. Munch Hotel says, I'm Stromboli over here. I'm putting a New Jersey accent to it. Plus, if you have fillings, it can be an extra exciting to eat from the foil baked into it. Yeah. I wasn't able to remove all of the foil, and I am a little worried that I might have some kind of foil poisoning. Alexander Dean says, could we do a guided meditation during ads? Yeah, I suppose we could. By the way, I've repositioned the camera on roast beef. So there he is now. He has drunk his water, and he is now back to sleep. JSBX fan, how's the Gretsch guitar, Henry? In for repairs? I'll show you. The guitar itself is as beautiful and great as always, but probably because of my faulty strap usage, I tore off this strap lock, so I can't use the strap until I screw it in properly, and I've been putting off doing that. But this is a beautiful guitar, a Gretsch parlor guitar, and it's got a beautiful sound. And it's a treasure. So I'm going to put it back in its working condition very soon. JSBX fan, oh, too much rocking with the Gretsch. Gotta stop spinning it around your body. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of Steve Vai style antics. JB's Tech wants to audit the inside of my refrigerator. No. I mean, I don't know. There's not much interesting happening there. Now you're making me nervous. Did the users sneak in and somehow put stuff in my refrigerator that's another surprise? Michael Bublé says we need to check the expiration dates. Yeah. Something does smell, though, now that I opened the refrigerator door, so there might be some bad food there. Oh, I almost forgot the star of our show here. It's going to be our Brussels sprouts. Okay, everybody's back. Here we go. All right, everybody, so let's talk about what we're going to be making today. It's called Brussels sprouts. Years ago, I was at a bar called the Rosewood Tavern on Fairfax Avenue in Hollywood, California. West Hollywood, to be specific. Hollywood, California is not an actual city. It's just a neighborhood, but I was in the city of West Hollywood. And I like to make sure everything, you can hear me and see me. Okay, check. So I was partaking of their craft beer selection, and at one point I got hungry, and I asked them what they had to eat, and they said they had Brussels sprouts, and I was like, are you serious? That's the only thing you have? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, it sounds like it's some vegetables or something. That's the last thing I want to eat right now. And they said, these are really good. So I was like, okay. And I got to say, I ate it, and it put me in some kind of a state of ecstasy. I was just like, this is the best. I was also on ecstasy at the time, but these Brussels sprouts are extremely similar to the recipe that we had that day at Rosewood Tavern. So, or that I had. So let's go ahead and get into it here. Let's start with our ingredients. We've got salt and pepper, which is pretty much going to go into any recipe that you can think of except some dessert items. We've got our balsamic vinegar. This is, I'm using a balsamic vinegar of Moderna. Maybe that's the company that makes the vaccines. And then we've got olive oil as well as Parmesan. We want fresh grated Parmesan here, guys. I don't want to see those green canisters that look the same as the Comet or whatever that you have under the sink in your bathroom. We want to use real cheese, and we want to use a cheese grater, which I'm going to have on hand. And we also have some pine nuts. And are these raw? They're supposed to be raw. Yeah. Raw whole pine nuts. I've never worked with pine nuts before, so I'm actually just as curious as you are to see how this is going to go. And Spacey says pine nuts, more like mine nuts. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's sort of a variation on the old D's nuts. Maybe we've just come up with something here. It says here, Chief Banter says, I only have AstraZeneca vinegar. Is that okay? Yeah, any brand that you have should be fine. Okay, everybody. Alexander Dean says, I'm going to be posting glamour shots on Discord later tonight. Everyone be on the lookout. Okay, well, you do good work. Shrugsley, it really does look like Comet. Oh my god, and the same powdery light white color. Yikes. Yeah, you do not want to mix those two items up. Okay, so I'm going to go to our recipe situation here. I was able to pull down a recipe from the internet. This one, if anybody wants to follow along, the website here is called Once Upon a Chef. So this is sort of a, what would you say? It's kind of a play on Once Upon a Time, but it's Once Upon a Chef. But actually, that's not the one that we're going to be using. No, I found another one. This one's called wellplated.com. And this one uses the saute method. So sauteing is when you put oil in a pan and then put the ingredients in there and sort of stir them around. Not to be confused with frying, which is the exact same thing. Okay, so it says here, sauteed Brussels sprouts. I've been cheating. That's what this lady says. I'm not saying that. This is Erin Clark with Well Plated says, I've been cheating. And then it's ... on Brussels sprouts. So that's how you got to be good at luring people in with a teaser, you know, right? Something right out in the beginning, an intention getter, I think they call it in journalism. I've been cheating on Brussels sprouts after more than a decade of cooking this stellar, if mismaligned, vegetable in what I thought was the one and only way to make it taste delicious. I've become hooked on an entirely new and faster preparation method, sauteed Brussels sprouts. So that's what we're going to be making today. Charred and crispy on the outside, lightly caramelized and meaty. I don't know why they'd be meaty on the inside. And ready to serve faster than you can say hustle. Sauteed on the stovetop is my favorite new way to cook Brussels sprouts. Well, she just said that. Sometimes there's a little bit of extra information. By the way, that wasn't my cat screaming. My cat is currently asleep and enjoying the day after a well-hydrated session. A hydrating session that went well, I guess is what I meant to say. But what we did here was the alert that says that someone has donated to Henry's Kitchen. So let's go ahead and find that here. If you'll just give me a second. Here we go. Oh, Borsenvin. Borsenvin tipped $6.90. Curious number. Henry, these are extremely qualitative ingredients. Choice pick, one might say. I have no further comments on this matter. Well, thank you. It sounds like a very positive message. And thank you for your donation, Borsenvin. Very cool of you. And thanks again to the Luge for gifting the tier 1 subs. There is a theory that all of the users right now, which include 411 viewers, there's a theory that they're all one guy, and that's Borsenvin. But it really doesn't make a difference to me, because if there was one guy who was so into Henry's Kitchen that he set up 411 fake accounts, then what you have is a quality fan that makes up for the quantity of fans. You know, do you want 1 million people to buy your cookbook for $10, or do you want one person to buy your cookbook for $10 million? It doesn't matter, because either way you end up a multi-millionaire. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but I will say that I make my living as a cooking explainer now, which I didn't necessarily think it was going to go that way. And I've never been to cooking school or anything like that. But that's okay in today's world. Barack says, hello, it's me, your only viewer. I can confirm that I'm the only person watching your videos. To prove this, I will post this same message from other accounts. And then there we have it. It's being posted by many other accounts, but I can't concern myself with that. So either way, I'm going to be teaching whoever it is that's watching how to make Brussels sprouts. So let's go ahead and look at our ingredients. Well, we already did. See, we're getting off a little bit here. The first order of business is that it says that these Brussels sprouts are supposed to be split in half. So, what? This one's literally twice as big as the other ones. That kind of creeps me out, so I'm not going to use that one. But again, it wants us to have HALVE, to have our Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to take half of them and put them back in the bag. And we'll put these back in the fridge. And by the way, if this comes out tasting like shit, you can always just get a burrito. Duzaw says, have your Brussels sprouts and eat them too. Yeah, I want to make sure that everybody realizes I was saying you put them in half. So I think that what they mean actually is to cut them in half. Hold on. Before you do anything, you want to rinse your veggies. So I'm going to do that right now. When these are in the supermarket or the farmer's market or wherever you like to get your veggies, you never know. There's people like to do things. I remember my friend Marty, when I was in high school, spit a big loogie onto the salad bar at Sizzler, and ever since then I've never eaten at salad bars or over at Marty's house. The Fearless Fear says, it's always nice to know that when I burn down my kitchen, I can always just DoorDash some Taco Bell instead. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's clean these up. Give it a little shake. Get all that water out. Now we've got some nice, clean veggies. And we're going to clear off all of this other kind of shit that we've got. No, not sure if everybody's seen my You're My National Treasure. This is a Nicolas Cage coffee mug. Alrighty. So let's put these in our foreground. And I'm going to grab a knife. I'm probably going to use a sharp knife for this. I don't like to use sharp knives because they're a little risky in terms of cutting yourself. But in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead here. So I just want to double check something here. In the recipe it says they've always got so much crap in the beginning of the recipe that you have to scroll through. Yeah, trimmed and halved. So I don't know what they mean by trimmed, but we can certainly have them. So this knife seems to be cutting them quite well. Deadlock B says remove the stem, maybe? Yeah, that might be what they mean by trimming. But I don't know. Yeah, Kairosa has a good point. Trimmed, how do you trim something that has layers? Yeah, do you just do the outside layer or do you stop at some point? But either way, we've definitely halved them, and that was a major part of what they were asking us to do. In terms of trimming, yeah, I'm going to take that person's advice and cut off the stem part, which is brown and looks kind of, I don't know what the word is, just spoiled or something like that. So I'm just going to take all the brown stuff off. And I think that's what they mean by trimming. Similar to trimming a Christmas tree. Actually, I don't quote me on that because I don't know if that's what, I always wondered what it meant when you said that. These don't smell good, you guys. I'm hoping that they smell better once we start sauteing them. KC 2.0 says the stem portion is where the bitterness is. Okay, good. And that's also true in life. But let's go ahead and get rid of that then, because I don't want any bitterness. Okay, I think we did that. Now let's go ahead. I like to clean as I go, so we're going to just throw these in our trash. For some of you that were concerned about the fruit flies in my apartment, well, good news, I haven't seen one in a while. In fact, I'm kind of a little bit wondering if maybe they stopped coming by for something that I am doing wrong in the kitchen. But either way, I'm happy to not have that burden anymore. I've read that one of the things that they're attracted to is fruit. So I've decided to not ever have any fruit in the house. And I'm probably going to do the same rule with vegetables once I'm done with this. Let's go back to work here. So now what we have in front of us is our trimmed and halved Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to take an infrared stove that I have here with a saute pan on top of it, like so. This is a pretty badass saute pan, and I've always said that if you have a really good saute pan, you don't need someone to share your life with. Okay, I'm going to turn this on and put it on 1100. And it says that it wants us to heat the saute pan medium high for 4 minutes. So maybe I'll go a little less. Maybe I'll do 800. And then as soon as the oil is hot and shining, swirl. Okay. This is one of those things that kind of pisses me off. I'll tell you that this recipe only has 3 steps. So you look at it and go, oh, like the night before, I was like, this is going to be great. It'll be a walk in the park. 3 steps, piece of cake. But then what they do is they cram 18 steps in the first one, in each one. So there's probably like, I don't know, computer, what's 18 times 3?
18 times 3 is 54.
So there's like 54 steps. And I fall for it every time. Kairosa wants to know 800 degrees. I believe this is an American product, so it's probably in Fahrenheit, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so let's just take a look at all these damn ingredients they've got. Heat a large cast iron skillet or saute pan over medium-high for 4 minutes. We're doing that. Add the oil, so that's already 2. And how much oil is it? 2 tablespoons. Extra virgin olive oil, which of course was my nickname in high school. Okay, I've got my tablespoon here. I think this is the oil. No, you know what? I don't think it is. It smells like vinegar. shit. Okay, so I thought it would be a good idea to have a cool oil and vinegar situation here with the two small kind of cute containers, but I didn't label them. So how would I possibly know which one's oil and which one's vinegar? Well, long story short, I just put fucking vinegar in my dish, and it was supposed to be 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Did I do 2 tablespoons right now, or did I just do the 1? Because there is supposed to be vinegar in here. So we already screwed up. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm sorry. I know this is probably tedious for you to watch. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna dump this. Actually, this is a good way to kill fruit flies, is by putting vinegar into... That might be why. Boy, that stuff's nasty too. Okay. We're gonna start again. It's okay, because we didn't get very far. Oh, God. Does anybody remember which one of these was the vinegar? Which one I used? Or do we have to roll the tape back? There's one that's kind of reddish. Maybe one of the moderators, can you tell me? Borsenvin says olive oil is green. Well, neither of these are green. One's yellow and one's a little brownish. Yellow green. Okay, on the right. Stoked Pampika, thank you very much. But sometimes the chat likes to mess with me. Okay. Here we go. It's coming out slower, so it's different. Yeah, I don't have that harsh smell of vinegar anymore. But boy, if there were no fruit flies here before, there definitely aren't any now. Okay. Now we're back on track here. We've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil sauteing over our saute pan on medium heat. And,
oh, hi.
What was that? Hold on a second. Stoked Pampika gifted 5 Tier 1 subs. Thank you so much, Stoked Pampika. And also thanks for your advice about how to identify the olive oil. Very kind of you. And thanks for resubscribing for 10 months. Jormo Gunder cheered 69 bits. And Jormo Gunder also cheered 420 bits. So... thank you very much for both of those kind of unusual numbers there. But, okay, I'm feeling good now. So let's go ahead and take a look at our next order of business. Okay, heat the cast iron skillet. We've done. Add the oil. As soon as the oil is hot, I'm sure it's hot, and shining. What are they? Shining. But before it starts smoking, swirl to cost the pan, then add the halved Brussels sprouts. I don't know what they mean to cost the pan. That might be a typo. But let's go ahead and do this here. I'm going to be... we need a swirler of some point. I'm going to go ahead and use this as my swirler. Okay. These are really big Brussels sprouts, by the way. I don't know how that's going to affect anything. And they're technically trimmed, I think. But there we go. Swirl to toss the pan, then add the halved Brussels sprouts. Done. Shake the skillet a little and prod them so as many are cut side down. Let sit undescribed for 5 to 8 minutes until they develop a tasty, dark caramelized sear. So it wants us to shake this thing a little bit for reasons unknown. But we do also want to make sure that the cut side is down. And we also want to make sure that our Brussels sprouts are completely submerged in the olive oil. So the outer leaves are sort of falling off unwittingly. You got to be careful when you're doing this kind of thing by hand because you don't want to burn your finger on hot oil. I've been doing this a long time, so I'm finally gotten good at it, but I don't want anybody doing this at home. A lot of chefs are divided in terms of whether you should be handling hot oil with your fingers without some type of protection. We're going to ask Chef Reactions when he's on here this coming Wednesday on our 11 a.m. stream what his take is on that, and it'll be very interesting to see how different chefs respond to different things. I think I'm going to take out these leaves because they're not really doing us any good. A little bit of a tedious process here, but that's okay because we have to leave these undescribed for 5 to 8 minutes. I'm going to turn the heat down because I always burn stuff and I don't want to do that today because I'm hungry. I'm walking here says, does your kitchen smell like farts right now? In a weird way it does. I don't know how you would know that. How did you know that? Stabby7 says, I was hanging out with Alf at a dive bar in San Bernardino County last night. He has turned into an alcoholic since his show got canceled. Well, he's been that for a long time because I think that show was canceled in about 87 or so. Dicko says, Henry, do you know if these Brussels sprouts are sprayed with GMOs? Watch out for that. GMOs. Computer, what does GMOs stand for?
I found one thing that GMO can stand for, genetically modified organism.
So if it's sprayed with genetically modified organisms, it might have been. I don't know. I got these at the farmer's market. Scruffy City Gaming, where are these Schrodinger's Brussels sprouts? If we describe them, that alters their state. It really does. A great example of the uncertainty principle. But they seem to be doing okay. And we're going to leave them undescribed for 5 to 8 minutes until they develop a dark, tasty, caramelized sear. I don't know how we're going to know if it's tasty or not. I don't want to be tasting it while it's in there. Okay, guys, we've got 5 minutes. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Okay, computer, set timer for 5 minutes. Computer, set timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay, I realize I screwed something up majorly. I don't have the tier 3 subscribers on the board right now, and I'm going to correct that during this 5 minutes. So everybody just chill for a second here. We can watch a little bit of my cat roast beef. Snoozing pretty good here, completely hydrated and ready to sleep. I know that Love is waking, so I keep holding on for the dawn break. Okay. These magnets are starting to lose their magneticism. It's a lot of work to put on a successful stream. I'm one magnet short. Oh, we got it here. You know what? It does smell like farts, but it kind of smells like good farts, if such a thing is possible. I feel like I'm supposed to stir it so that it doesn't get all stuck. Lou May says, Henry, you weren't supposed to describe the Brussels sprouts. Oh, you're right. They're supposed to be left completely undescribed for like 5 to 8 minutes. Computer, how much time left on the timer? We're starting to gather some more. Hey, computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 1 minute and 50 seconds left on your 5-minute timer.
We're starting to gather a little bit more of our stray leaves here. It seems like it's a little bit of a maintenance project to keep these things out. But I feel bad throwing them away because they actually look kind of good. Let me try one of these. Not bad. Disappointment says those leaves will crisp up nice. Yeah, maybe we should just put them in, huh? I don't think there's anything wrong with these. Shrugsley says these stray leaves are the best part. They get yummy crispy. Okay, well let's leave them in there then. Now I feel bad about the ones that I threw away. Okay, a lot of times you can use the downtime to look at your next order of business. Number 2, it says add the salt and pepper. Let's see how much it wants. Half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon pepper. Usually it's the other way around. With a wooden spoon or a spatula, I know I have that. I've got a spatula here. Computer, stop. Stir the Brussels sprout. Continue cooking, stirring every few minutes until the Brussels sprouts are browned all over and just turning tender on the inside. About 6 to 80 multiple minutes. Okay, so let's get our measurements ready here. So it says it wants 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. This is our teaspoon. I don't know how they want me to... Well, for one thing, we're just going to guesstimate what 1/4 teaspoon... Ow. Shit, that olive oil pops and it's hot. I have no way of knowing if that was the right amount. I'm just going to go ahead and do it the old-fashioned way here. And it wants us to do the same with the salt. I think you can take these things off. And it wants 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So we've got to sort of guesstimate how much is 1/2 teaspoon. Oh, but I should have remembered, I'm actually dividing these ingredients. Shit. Okay, I have a little bit of a screw up that I did here. But fortunately, the salt seems to have fallen into a nice little pocket here. I'm just going to dump the salt out of these leaves. I'm going to have to lose a couple of leaves for this. Damn. I might have too much salt, you guys. Screw it. It'll be alright. Not sure if anybody saw this. Just want to focus a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and stir this stuff up. We've added the salt and pepper at this point. And we're just stirring. A little bit of excess salt is not going to kill you. Computer, what's the worst thing that can happen with too much salt?
Excessive salt consumption can cause bloating, water retention, increased thirst, temporary rise in blood pressure, and an abnormal rise in blood sodium that causes various symptoms.
Yeah, so there's really nothing to worry about there. Let's see what it wants next. Computer, okay, it says here, continue cooking, stirring every few minutes until the Brussels sprouts are browned all over and just turning tender inside. About 6 to 8 additional minutes. So if you're a student of Henry's Kitchen, you know that whenever they say a range like that, cook for 6 to 8 minutes, what they're looking for is the number in between. So, you know, computer, what is the average between 6 and 8?
The average of 6 and 8 is 7.
7. So they mean 7 minutes. I don't know why they don't just say 7 minutes. But we've already been doing this for about 3 minutes. So computer, let's set a timer for 5 minutes. Computer, can we set a timer for 5 minutes, please?
5 minutes, starting now.
Okay. So it says it wants it to be brown on both sides, so I'm going to turn this around. What the hell, man? These are really hard to turn around because they're rounded. But I think we've got it. Okay, we can leave those to sit for a little bit here. I'm going to put some more pepper on there to offset the amount of salt that I put on it. Meanwhile, let's check in with some of your questions here. Hank Boozle says, this seems like a great dish for the baby cakes cake pop maker. Yeah, the Brussels sprouts are a shape that would fit in there very nicely. Wee Wee Liam says, how's the smell? It's smelling better. Before it smelled like farts, and now it smells like burned farts, which are better, I guess. Like Shakro says, I know what you mean. Thank Mr. Skeletal says, I need a math degree to cook. No, you don't need a math degree. You just have to have one of these devices. It could be Google or Amazon Alexa or Hey Siri or one of those types of things. Emilzy says, Henry, I've tried following along so far and the Brussels sprouts actually kicked my butt. They were curb stomping me and everything. Did I not use enough salt? Okay, so it sounds like you're having some very particular issues there that I'm not sure if there's an easy explanation for how to get out of that. Because kick butt, Brussels was supposed to be sort of an adjective describing how awesome they are. But if you're actually being defeated physically by your vegetables, that's a problem. Fiki Fiki says, Henry, have you ever seen a ghost? Not specifically, but I've seen evidence that a ghost had been in my bathroom. Okay, let's look ahead a little bit here. Computer, how much time left on the timer?
You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds left on your 5-minute timer.
Okay, so what we're going to do after this, we're going to remove the pan from the heat. We're going to stir in our vinegar. Now it's time for the vinegar. Then the pine nuts, or the almonds, we're going to let the residual heat, and again, they got 15 directions in one freaking thing. Then the pine nuts or almonds, let the residual heat of the skillet toast your nuts, stirring them very often so they toast evenly on all sides and do not burn. I see. If they're roasting, turn the skillet to low heat. As soon as the nuts are toasted, transfer the sprouts to serving plate. Okay. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I do everything right here. Let the residual heat of the skillet toast your nuts, stirring them so that they toast evenly on all sides and don't burn. But then what do we do with our parsley and our parm? I guess we're going to put that on afterward. How much vinegar do we need? It says here we need 1 tablespoon. We could also use lemon juice for this. Computer, how much time left?
You have 40 seconds left on your 5-minute timer.
Okay, we're getting there, you guys. Michael Bublé says, I think it's time to pour myself a cocktail. You deserve it, Michael Bublé. You've done a lot of great music over the years, and suit yourself. Squiggle Biscuit says, are you supposed to shave your nuts first? No, these are raw. And you got to make sure you get the raw ones. If you're getting cooked ones, then you're deferting the purpose. Or departing the purpose. Defeating the purpose. Okay. I'm going to now... Oh, computer, stop. Okay, so we're gonna turn that off. Remove the pan from the heat. Well, that's not gonna be easy, but we can try it. Is this hot? Oh yeah, it is. Let's it's not turning off. Woo. We got some hot stuff happening here. I feel like I should put this on something. Maybe I'll put it on this board. Is that going to burn it? This thing is very, very hot. Okay, let's, with a wooden spoon or spatula, we're gonna stir in the vinegar, then the nuts. So we want, of vinegar, we want 1 tablespoon. But then again, I don't know how much actually, because we've been dividing some of the ingredients here. Let's also put in 1 tablespoon of our pine nuts. So these are supposed to just sort of cook the way that they are. Stir in the vinegar, then the pine nuts. Stir every so often so they toast evenly. I think this is working, you guys. So these little nuts should be turning brown. I don't really see that happening, but it's okay. I guess this would probably be as good of a time as any to add some of our fresh herbs. I've got some parsley. So I think I might have to wash this. I'm just going to put a little bit of this parsley in there. This parsley is fresh from my garden. If you want to see me in my garden, you can go to patreon.com/Henry's Kitchen and check out the gardening video I did last year. Okay, this is definitely not what you would call engaging television. Maybe I should, while I'm doing this, go back and check on Roast Beef, my cat, see what the hell he's up to. Just snoozing. But he's deserved his right to be able to snooze for the rest of his life. He was a very good cat in his younger days. He did a lot of service to a lot of people. By service, I mean allowing people to pet him, and it's apparently a big stress reliever for humans to pet a cat. And he understood that was sort of his calling, kind of the way that I understand that my calling is cooking, explaining. And hopefully I'll be able to one day rest as easily as he is, having lived a good life and a job well done. Where the fuck is my grater? Okay, here. I'm gonna put some Parmesan cheese over the whole thing. Again, I don't want to see you with those green canisters. Not only does no one know what chemicals are in those things, but they look exactly like the Comet stuff that you have under your bathroom sink to whatever, to clean your sink or whatever. So you're gonna run into some problems if you mix those two up. Okay, this is smelling good. Something that I just did made these all of a sudden smell better. I don't know if it was the pine nuts or the vinegar might have killed whatever that kind of farty type smell was, but either way, I'm gonna say these are kind of ready to go here. It says as soon as the nuts are toasted, which I guess they are, transfer the sprouts to a serving plate. So I don't know exactly what a serving plate is. I have a plate, so I guess we could just use that. If you have a serving plate, that's probably preferable, but you could always just use a regular plate and then serve it to people. Okay. Van Honkerton says that's a nice green plate. Yeah, I always like to use a green plate because it contrasts. When you think about it, most foods are not green. So you're going to get a contrast between the plate and whatever foods that you're eating. You know, unless you are eating vegetables, which I don't do very often. Today is a little bit of an exception. I want to make sure I don't skip out on these pine nuts. Okay, look at that. This looks like it's going to be kind of delicious. Let's get a nice shot of this. Wow, that looks pretty great. Let's see how it holds up to our example picture. They've still got theirs in the skillet, it looks like. They're so stupid. Ours looks like 1,000,000 times better than theirs. Yeah. Okay, so I haven't tasted this yet. I hope we didn't ruin everything by putting too much salt or some stupid thing. But for now, it looks like it's going to be pretty good. So why don't I go ahead and do, I think, is it time to do another commercial? I'm not sure. No, I don't think we're going to have to do another commercial. I'm going to go ahead and do the thank you song for everybody here. And obviously, if it weren't for all of you watching, then I would just be some crazy guy in my kitchen talking to a computer while I'm cooking. And Bean Boy says, Henry, did you use a little Photoshop magic? Looks almost too good. No, this is the real deal. This is me. This is all me, you guys. I think we're onto something here. Brussels sprouts are a good idea. It's no understatement to say that what I do here is extremely difficult, and it takes a village. And from the early days, I had people approach me and volunteer their services just because of their excitement about the Henry's Kitchen channel, and I'll never forget it. Dingo Bob, Fawcan, and all the other ones that I'm going to name in the song. But I just want to say thank you to all of you who have helped. And not only to you, the people who have volunteered your services, but also there were a lot of major streamers in the beginning that gave us some great airtime by streaming our Henry's Kitchen content on their channels. And that's what built what we have here. And so I'm going to thank them as well. Jacko Tops says, Henry, this is the first time that your cooked stuff looks the same or better than the prototype. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick song here that thanks everybody, and it's to the tune of Roger Miller's King of the Road. Fawcan and Dingo Bob, Dom Beef Hot Bear 1110. Do Dingle Dog Goggle, Dr. Flanges and Bacchus, and also Shane, yes, Beelzebub. Mochi's Nirvana, it's Kate and Kairosa, Daisy Blossom and Sir Doom, Bumble Vision, the LGX, Pilsman, Melon 95, Nim Force, and Moon Moon, XQC and Emerald, S-Fan and Bonnie Rabbit too, and don't forget Quanto. frog, freezy frog, pancake king, 2 cat food taste tester, passion terror, Johnny Pomp 22, the chair next dinosaur, Nico Teso, Henry Philippopoulos, Shandis, 2 gay fish, 69, everyone type force, Nova Glarian, Tankard, and Force, and Vanilla Will, JB's Tech, and clap your head, Gary Busey, ASMR, Zodiac Tone, BL's a B, Hand Lips 1, computer please fart for me, Burrito 55555, purple donut filling his fruit, Parasitosis, Saguaro, Uzod, Bane, Toke my nuts, Game Master Flash, and Archmage Cam, Mochi's Nirvana, Sickly Boy, I-134 Cheat, Acidy Tis, Moe Melody, and E-Lake underscore, Sexy Daddy 420, Computer Help, and Maros underscore, Bill Larkin Music, and don't forget Quanto. All right, let's taste these badass Brussels sprouts. We're gonna need a fork. I'm starting to see the fruit flies return, and in a weird way, I want to tell you that I'm happy about it, because that means that something that I did here in the kitchen made them attracted. And I think it's these Brussels sprouts. Once again, let's take a look at this beauty. This is our Brussels sprouts. We halved them, we trimmed them correctly, we added, at one point we fucked up and put vinegar in there first, but we corrected it. We started all over from the beginning, and that worked. So if you want to see what we were going for, I think ours looks better than theirs. Theirs looks like just a bunch of crap, and they didn't even take it out of their pan. We've got it nicely served on a serving plate, and life is good. But the real test is, how does it taste? Amazing. Purple donut filling his fruit. This is 10 out of 10. This is 10 roast beef heads out of 10. This might even be better than the Brussels sprouts that I had that one night in West Hollywood at the Rosewood Tavern after about 16 IPAs. And this is better. And I'm not even drunk. It's perfectly tender. The vinegar cuts out some of the whatever, some of the whatever was making that kind of fart smell. And it's great. I don't know why we bothered with the pine nuts. They just fall off. This is great. I'm sorry, everybody, but this is addictively delicious. What the Duck says, hey, Henry, I thought your painting was upside down, but it was my monitor that was upside down after a guy named Brussel kicked my butt with some sprouts and messed up my room. This week's recipe is a little too dangerous for my liking. It was dangerous. It wasn't easy. There was a lot of times when I didn't know if we were gonna make it. I had to use a semi-sharp knife for cutting these things, because when they're raw, they're a little difficult. And we also had some fire happening. Not fire, but infrared energy coming out of the stove. I think you're right, this is upside down. I'm not really an art connoisseur, if you will, so that might have been what was happening there. But Sarbomb Chan says Brussels sprouts don't grow near the river, especially around bison. Well, that's an odd comment. Brussels sprouts don't grow near the river. Bison. The reverb is on. Reverb is on. That's what they're trying to tell me in code language. Yes. Sorry about that. I left the reverb on. Check. 1, 2. Help! Are we good? Okay. Thank you very much for that. If you are going to tell me that the reverb is on, please do it in code because I don't want other people knowing. Looks like we have another Borsenvin tipped $5. Thank you, Borsenvin. It says, been lurking, listening, enjoying the recipe. Thank you for giving me the energy to start a new week, boost it up. Thank you, Borsenvin. Thanks for your continued generosity and also your positive energy. I know you have a Georges Brassens in the request chamber, and I'm going to work on it, but it's going to be a lot of work. I have to pretty much learn all of French in order to learn it, but I'm going to do your suggestion, and great playing games with you last week. We had such a fun time. If anybody wants to watch the DVD, we Mochi's Nirvana put together an amazing Valentine's Day stream. Alexander Dean won the contest with honorable mentions to Regular Size Joe and Pug Lady. So I just want to say thank you, everybody. We really kicked some proverbial ass and some regular ass. Dwaylu has subscribed. Thank you, Dwaylu. TV Golden God has subscribed. Neo Monk resubscribed and says, Henry, I woke up this morning and I appear to have become a computer. Do you have any advice? Yes. You need to shut down and restart. Nella Wallen resubscribed for 2 months. Thanks, Nella. And we've got songs from you coming up in the chamber as well, maybe on Wednesday. Stoked Pampika resubscribed for 10 months and gifted all those subs. So our sub count now is 556. Very respectable. Thank you, everybody. And I just want to say one more time that we will be graced with the presence of Chef Reactions, who's a major TikTok star and Instagram star and is on Twitch as well. And we're going to be streaming together using a feature on Twitch called Stream Together. And I'm going to cook, and I'm just going to, he's a fellow chef. He might have a little more experience than I do in actual restaurants. But we're going to talk cooking, and we're going to see if he's got anything to share with what I'm doing here. So it's going to be great. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, JSBX fans got the emojis right there. Okay, everybody. Should we go ahead and see if our buddy Husky Boyo is out there streaming? Because I'm more than happy to do a raid if so. Doesn't look like he is. So, no Husky. Well, if you can, check out Husky Boyo at some point. And I think we're good to go. So thanks, everybody, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will see you on Wednesday at 11 a.m. with Chef Reactions, and we're gonna have a good time. Borsenfin says S-Fan is on. Let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and raid S-Fan. So S-Fan is a majorly popular streamer, probably playing video games, I assume. I met him in Austin, and he invited me to come and teach him in the house how to make Frankenstein cupcakes for our Halloween situation, and we had a blast. And he's just a fantastic guy. So he's playing Grand Theft Auto V. So what a great way to spend our Sunday afternoon. So let's go say hi to S-Fan, and thanks again, everybody. Danny Wonders says, damn it, I missed the stream. How did the Brussels turn out? Were they kick butt? Yeah, hell yeah, they were kick butt. All right, let's raid S-Fan. our friend from way back. And we got to do another collaboration. Hopefully I'll make my way to Austin and we could do that. And I'll see everybody at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday. And thanks, everybody. And here we go.